it's so important that our youth have great content. We talk about content all the time. How about some books for the kids? We've got an author. She's on Amazon. Stay tuned for this, everybody. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show. Again, I get to meet some of the most fantabulous leaders in our community that are here in this little part of the world, or sometimes from around the country. But we have tapped into a hot market of talented people who are making the world go round, if you will. And today we have a guest who is an author with now 2 books on Amazon?
2 books, yes.
2 books on Amazon. I knew there was at least 2. And she is helping kids to learn from her authoring here. Bella Spark Books, Adventures Through Mud and Magic. The author we have in the building here is Bella Spark. She's the author, the creator, and the owner of BellaSparkBooks.com.
Correct.
And you can get them on the website?
Website and Amazon.
And Amazon. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, with that, we'll give a shout out to our sponsors. We have some wonderful companies that really help us to make this all happen. But Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things. Where do you like these nice things? Well, I came up with this. Brooke liked it. In your little castle. That your little castle may just have some awesome literature from our author in the building here. And Bella has done a great job and created some awesome books. And we're going to show you where you can get those on Amazon. And we're going to talk about it now. But tell me, okay, what led you here where you woke up one day and said, I would like to write books for kids?
I've always wanted to write a children's book, but I never really had the right character or story. And a little over a year ago, my husband and I bought a Jeep. A couple years ago, we bought a Jeep, and Sparky is the name of our Jeep, and it quickly turned into more than just a Jeep. So that became my character, and it's just kind of exploded from there.
Okay, so was the actual, how did this come about? So you actually bought a Jeep, started to learn, have a little bit of adventure in the Jeep.
Correct.
And then you said, hey, maybe this could be something that ties in something fun for kids.
Correct.
And then when did you decide to start writing?
So I did, our Jeep Club does a Midwest Jeep thing, does a Chicks in the Sticks big off-roading event in the spring. Right. And it's a women forward, trying to get more women involved. And I did that by myself. My husband wasn't able to go, and so I did it myself. And I came home and I said, that's it. I'm writing the book. Sparky is more than just a Jeep. He is a character at this point. So, and it's just kind of exploded from there. All
right. Well, give me a little bit of the moral of the story, and what does Sparky do? And tell me what's kind of the reference for.
So the first book is about Sparky making friends.
Okay, we'll hold that up. Held it up right there. You go.
Yep, about Sparky making friends, and that he learns that on the trail it takes all kinds of Jeeps, and I also met my best friend through Chicks in the Sticks, through our Jeep Club, and she drives a Jeep, so her Jeep and my Jeep are best friends.
And does that play out in the?
It does, and so this particular book is kind of the whole story behind that.
I gotcha. All right, and so this has inspired you to write, and then what is the lesson for kids, or what's the message towards kids?
The message for kids is really that you can do things that are difficult, and it's grown just from the single book of Sparky making friends to the second one, which is. Sorry.
There you go. No.
Based a little bit more on, it's called Different Is Its Superpower, and it's being different. Sparky is a Jeep Gladiator, which gets a little bit of teasing on the trails because it's like the truck style. And so Sparky learns that it's okay to be different, and it's okay to, let your differences shine and be your superpower instead of just using that as a negative. And it's really geared more towards a little bit older elementary kids, and it teaches confidence and kindness. And the series has really gone on to even older kids and then adults, I'm working into programming for them, because belief doesn't really have an age. And so it's really all about believing in yourself and learning.
You're speaking my language there. A lot of people do not. Should I put
you.
the hat on a little early here? Cardinal
Yeah, sure.
Cowboy. And so you are familiar with the Cardinal Cowboy a little bit?
A little bit.
And what I do in the community. But yeah, so much of what you go through in life is about confidence and belief. And boy, my confidence was destroyed as somebody who'd been hit by a drunk driver in a coma. And they said that they're going to take care of me the rest of my life. There's still some jokes, some questions about that. Did they take care of me? I still do keep in close contact with my mom. But yeah, I've been fortunate to overcome a lot of what doctors said I was not capable of before. And I went through a pretty traumatic situation. This helps kids to understand, life is difficult. There's going to be hurdles, but you can accomplish anything if you believe in yourself.
Right. Every trail has some kind of hurdle or obstacle to overcome. And, life is one big trail. So,
I like that. Write that one down. I got my pencil here too. Life is one big trail. And it just continues on, and there's all kinds of bends in the trail, and there's little obstacles in the trail.
Right.
But and there's some rewards along the way on the trail too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we're going to start off early here with putting the on our TV walls we have, and you can see her Facebook page here, and that's some beautiful graphics right there. Good work on that. But over there, I'm going to switch it over to book number 1. There it is on Amazon. And very cool. We got some great reviews on that already. But here it is. When Sparky the bright red truck sets on a trail, he dreads finding a true friend while encouraging imagination, creativity, and early learning. One morning, he meets Phoenix, gold green Jeep, who changes everything through a playful storytelling, interactive story based on learning fun. Well, that's pretty good introduction there, and then it goes on and teaches a lot of lessons and help them build that confidence and how to deal with life a little bit.
Right. I'm a firm believer that children need to be taught lessons, but they don't want to feel like they're being taught a lesson. They don't want to be preached to. And so this gives them kind of an adventurous, creative outlet that they can still get that lesson without feeling like they're being preached at.
Okay. So what really led you here? What was it? Was this something you might have thought about doing all your life, or did it just kind of just spring up when you had the idea?
So I've wanted to write a children's book since I was middle high school, but like I said, I never really had a character, and the last year for me has been life-changing in many ways, and I finally started to believe in myself like others had believed in me, and I just couldn't see it myself. And so when that belief surfaced, everything for me changed. The creative ideas started flowing, and it has I didn't start any of this with a plan. I didn't do any research. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't really have any expectations, and now it's kind of just exploded.
Very cool. Well, that's what we talk about. So one of the questions I have because I've started writing a book, and then this whole crazy stuff happened 3 or 4 years ago. I don't like to even say, but that craziness that we had. And then I said, well, there's more to be here, and we're going to learn from this. But tell me about the process for that. Was it just you just woke up one day and started writing? Are you doing voice to text? How long did this take?
To write itself didn't take me probably more than 2 weeks.
Really?
But the illustration part, I can't draw a stick person, so
okay.
That took a little bit longer to connect with someone that has, and Panda Pro Publishing has been the one who illustrated and formatted and was really instrumental in getting me.
Gotcha. Can we open up show
yes,
a little
absolutely.
Let's show the first one here. Is this the original?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to hold this up. So then the text, we're going through it here. The text is all of what you've written. There's the dedication, about the author, preface, table of contents, and then Sparky's Lonely Wish, okay, and a noisy surprise on the trail. Now you start to get into the actual literature, and you can see those animations add quite a bit to it, and that's where you're really going to tell the story. Meeting Phoenix, and that's a friend, right? Is that what Phoenix is?
Yes.
Okay, and then they become friends, the 2 Jeeps. That's pretty cool. But yeah, lots goes in, and putting this together, there's a lot of graphic stuff.
Yes,
that
it
goes
does.
into that. So now this has become a process. How long is this whole process taking to get you where you're at now?
I'm at almost a year, and it's kind of expanded, like I said, with reaching out towards young, middle, high school, young adults, even adults. I will do I can customize the programming for however it needs to be. I'm reaching out with schools and libraries and getting in there to do readings and activities that really align with social emotional learning traits. But I'm also starting what I call, it's a confidence pouch and then a comfort pouch. And
hold that up a little bit there. There we go. So tell me about this. What is this?
The confidence pouch contains 3 little cards that have confident messages. If a child is having a rough day and they think, oh, nobody likes me, or I'm not smart enough, or whatever, they can dig into the pouch and they can pull out a confidence card, and it'll have a saying on it.
Okay.
This particular one is the comfort pouch, because for every confidence pouch that is purchased, a comfort pouch also gets created, and then these are going to be distributed to local children's hospitals.
Really?
Yes.
Can we check one out?
So we can absolutely check these out. This one, like I said, is designed for the comfort.
Okay.
They'll all include a rubber duck.
Okay.
If you know anything about Jeeps,
Yeah,
Jeeps and
everybody's got
ducks
their
go
rubber
hand in
duck.
hand.
That's right. I don't understand it, but I've seen them all over the place. Your spark is still shining. Nothing can take that away. There you go. That's the message. And then on that, I'll put this up and hold this. And then you can see the cute little duck. There it is. So these help kids understand they're not alone. They've got somebody there, and there's a message for them. You are brave even on the hard days.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Nice. So there's a lot more to this than just helping somebody read something and to fall asleep. Here we go.
Right.
You are not alone. There are people who care about you. Nice. Okay. Well, there's a strong message.
Thank you.
So how is this distributed with the books, or you just?
No. So this is just kind of a side project that literally has popped into my head within the last couple weeks, and getting it organized. But I'm working with the local children's hospitals to be able to offer a give back, and then however often, once a month, once a quarter, whatever it happens to be, these packs will be donated to the local children's hospitals. And it doesn't just stop for the hospitalized children, it goes on to siblings. And because sometimes, you have a sick child and there's a sibling at home that feels left out, or not neglected, but obviously the sick child needs some attention.
Yeah, I went through that. There was lots of attention given to me in my recovery, but I have a sister who I know that they needed to help, make sure let her know that she was still very important. She's done very well. She's made through fine. But yeah, there's a lot of, I've been through that situation. It's a lot of intense focus on obviously helping the kid who's going through something. But that's very interesting. Very cool. Well, if you do work with some of those hospitals, bring me in to help you maybe a little bit. I've given speeches and talked to kids and visited lots of kids at the different hospitals all over St. Louis, and maybe we can team up for some of that. But very cool. Well, tell me, what about this fuels your passion then? Obviously, you have a passion for this. Tell me where that comes from.
I just really think that connecting with kids and people in general, just connecting on a level that is more individualized. And I think, right now people need encouragement, and they need, today's world is so chaotic, and there's all this negative, but you don't hear all the positive. And I think, this is a way that I can connect with people to just bring that individual connection.
Yeah, you never know what kind of moment you might have with somebody where you can have a little bit of feedback and say, I'll just share an example. This isn't too much, but I was with a kid, and he was in a very bad situation. They said he might not recover, and talked to him. And then I gave him my little, hey, never give up. You can do it. I went through a coma. I came through some horrible situation. I wasn't supposed to make it, but I proved him wrong, and I did it. And you can do it too. And then 7 years later, he's 2 feet taller, and somebody comes up to this car. I was working in the car. I had work to do, so I went back to the car. I went to the parade at St. Patty's Day. I'll never forget. I said, I go back to the car. So I go back to the car, working in the parking lot, just sitting in my car working. And somebody comes knocking on my door, and they said, hey, do you know who this is? And I'm like, no. He says, you visited him at the hospital 5, 6 years, whatever it was. And they said, he recovered completely and now is on his own and graduated ahead of schedule. And I go, really? What happened? I go, it was you encouraging him to do that. So those little things, those make such an impact. So I think you're going to have quite the impact here. You've got two books to help you, and what did you call these?
These are confidence and comfort pouches.
Confidence and comfort pouches. All right, everybody. That's a new one. I like it. That's cool.
Thank
We
you.
need to have those. I like the message there, and it includes the little ducks. A lot of kids will identify with that. Well, very good stuff there. And what I wanted to also mention is we have up on the wall, I'll put up here, what are people saying here? For the second book just came out. I'm going to put that up on the wall here. You can see that one here too. But how long has this been available now? This book just came out?
Less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. So there it is, and you can see that book. Sparky, different is his superpower. I like it. And that one's really new. Your other book, though, published out there, there it is. And this one's got a ton of great reviews on it. So what a cute storyline. Illustrations are cool and to the point. It's not just a storybook. It's packed with activities to engage the reader while learning. And so lots of great information. So you can see both of those on Amazon. And there they are. But I'll put up here on the wall behind us here real quickly the website too. So here we are. And you can see this is BellaSparkBooks.com, and you can buy them directly here. It does take you to the link on Amazon.
It does, and that will be updated soon, I hope.
Okay. Well, yeah, lots of great information for everybody. Easy access. Boy, the interwebs have made it easier these days, haven't they?
Yes, it has.
To get the word out. With that, we're going to jump into some community stuff. We work with a young lady who is conquering. She is a superhero. She's beating cerebral palsy. Enjoy a little fun we had in the community here.
Cardinal Cowboy here. We're sitting with our superstar guest, Brittany McAllister. Brittany, how are you doing today?
Good.
Well, we wanted to sit down with a superhero, somebody who's got superpowers. So we picked you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Brittany has proven so much what is possible if you just keep on pushing, never give up, and never give up and keep going, right? You just keep going, Brittany?
Yeah.
So Brittany has cerebral palsy, and she's been adopted by a friend of mine. So Brittany was originally adopted by her aunt because her mother couldn't take care of her. And then as Aunt Deborah got older, she said, hey, I want some help. And so your sister now has become your legal guardian. What's it like having Jennifer as somebody you get to hang out with? You like that? Is that fun for you to have Jennifer as your helper?
It's really like me.
and as your helper around? So what is the most fun you get to have with Jennifer?
Be on TV.
To be on TV, how are we going to make that happen? I know somebody. Well, we're just really excited to interview you because you're a superhero who has accomplished things most people cannot. You've been through some major challenges, and here you are, proving to the world what's possible. Is that right?
His name is Carter Rathwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rathwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So there you go. And we've written our own little book here, but pick this up if you like. Magnetize Your Media, #1 seller on Amazon. But we're here to talk about your book, and it's pretty creative what you've put together here. I didn't realize, how this. We wonder, how does this all come together? How does somebody come up with the path that they end up taking in life? And I'm always trying to figure out how do we help people understand the benefit they have by having a book like this made available to the public. And I'd say this is definitely something that can be very therapeutic to help kids get those messages like you've got here, and talk about, hey, believe in yourself, be strong, challenges are going to occur, but you can accomplish anything as long as you just keep going and never give up. Is that kind of the message you've got here?
Correct. So people will say that I believe in my Jeep way more than it's capable of doing. And I mean, let's be realistic. If you're 4 foot something, you're not going to play basketball for the most part. But if you believe in yourself, you can accomplish things that you wouldn't normally think that you could accomplish. And it is about being kind, believing in yourself, and just kind of be accepting of everybody. Everybody's got an obstacle to overcome, and life is one big trail ride, and there will be bumps along the way, but it's, people will say, oh my gosh, you've got pinstripes all over your Jeep, but those are battle scars to me. Those battle scars and pinstripes tell a story that not only did my Jeep come off that trail safely, but I came off the trail safely. And so life is kind of the same way. We're all going to have scars.
Yeah, we all go through hurdles in life, and we've got to believe that we never give up. You're speaking totally my language there, and it makes a lot of sense what you're offering for people. Just take that leap and believe in themselves. And it's just, once I realized what I could do, even though I was told what I wasn't going to be able to do, but if I just applied myself, I'd do things differently. And like you said, I wasn't going to be a pro basketball player.
Right.
I want to be a pro baseball player. My coach told me later I had what it took. College coach told me. But there was a different plan for me, and so I had to go. I was guided towards that plan, I believe. Higher power, God, whatever you want to say that is. But that's what now has led me to where I've been very fortunate to be pretty successful and help a lot and get to help people along the way. And that really is what makes me feel good about what we're doing. But why would you recommend somebody definitely pick up at least one or if not both of these books?
They both have a story to tell and a lesson to be learned in a way that is going to allow kids to kind of absorb that messaging without feeling like they're being preached at or taught to. They are filled with activities. I've seen kids out on the trail and they're scared, but if they've got Sparky, and I have a version, it's a giant yellow duck. His name is Pop. It's Sparky's sidekick, but I have that with me on every trail ride or adventure, and kids can kind of lean into that and know that it's okay to be scared. I mean, for instance, this past November, I went to Hawaii and I was able to go skydiving, something else off of my bucket list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Was I scared? You better believe it.
Absolutely.
But I did it anyway. And so, it's okay to be scared. And there's just lessons like that you can teach a child through, an instrument that's going to allow them to learn without feeling like they're being taught.
Yeah, so many of us, nobody wants to be lectured. Nobody wants to be
right.
Scolded or even be talked down to. But if we could just say, hey, I've got some information here that might help you. And very cool. Well, I'd say, what kind of accomplishments and things have you, being published on Amazon, that is pretty cool. Tell me about that process a little bit. Why was that, what was that like for you?
Well, like I said, I didn't go into this with any kind of plan or research, and so I knew that self-publishing was probably the way to go. I've heard horror stories of trying to get published through a publishing company, and so I just thought, whether or not it becomes a bestseller, whether or not it makes money, it was something I wanted to do. And so I had a story I thought it was important to tell, and I kind of envisioned maybe five books, just based off of my real life experiences. And so when I became empowered to tell my story, even though it was through the books, then that just kind of expanded, and then that's where the comfort and the confidence pouches came in. And I'm working to expand my programming to speak to adults and older children and teenagers, because we do all have something to learn and to believe in ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has something they can do to contribute to our little planet if they're just willing to do that. And you feel so much reward. I remember going on giving speeches and talking to kids. I was like, man, I'm really going to help. But I got such great reward. The return on that was something I didn't quite expect. And you really feel good about what you're doing to contribute like you're doing here to our little planet and help people build that confidence and stay on path and never give up. So you are also a local author. You were born and raised here in the St. Louis metro area.
Correct.
And what do you like about the St. Louis community and what you do here as a small business? You're a small business owner technically, and what it's like to start your own gig here.
So I love it. For me, it's a way to give back to the community that helped shape me for the most part. St. Louis kind of gets a bad rap sometimes, but so does every big city, really. And I'm from the east side, a small town there, but being in the St. Louis area, it opens up opportunities to work with bigger children's hospitals and just be able to reach a bigger audience than just my small town, but also being able to give back to them has been really meaningful.
Yeah, that's what we hope that everybody ultimately can contribute, because whatever you reap, they say you sow, it comes back tenfold. Is that right?
Right.
All the way from Trenton, where she's from, to Fenton. We're like at the opposite sides of the St. Louis metro area. But go across the river and across the bridge, and you can get to either one. But we're all here to contribute and make a little difference and a little impact on our planet. And I'm really excited to see somebody's taking the time to write a book, now 2 books, to take the effort and reach out to the people to help you to get the illustrations put together and to make this thing happen and put it on Amazon, where it's already selling, and you've got a second book out there too.
Yes.
Great job. Well, if you're looking for leaders, here we have them, everybody. Bella Spark Books, bellasparkbooks.com, Adventures Through Mud and Magic. Great stories she's got to share with everybody. Stay tuned for more, everybody. And if you know any leaders, have them get a hold of us. We'll put them right here on our little show sometime. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We'll talk soon. Giddy up.